and I'll get more into the history. Oh, recording. Thank you. So anyway, started my life in Central America, and cacao was very present. I always had it in my mind, cacao, but then it kind of went away. I moved to the United States. I became a channeler. I started doing sound healing. And while I was in that jam, I was introduced to cacao in a deeper way. I had a cacao experience in Minnesota. Actually, Carmen is on the class today. She was there as well. And neither of us had a very good experience. And this is not to blame the practitioner, it just didn't jive with us. The cacao wasn't delicious. The shamanic journey was leading us to the underground. I was pulled as I was going into this journey, and it was Jesus actually that pulled me. He says, "You're not going anywhere, sister." So I was awake the entire class. So that kind of stayed with me. And I decided at some point that I wanted to reverse that experience and I wanted to learn more about cacao. When I was doing my sound healing certification, I became aware of Keith's cacao. And this is the cacao that I have right here. When I learned about it, it was inevitable. I just needed to learn more. And so I went to school, I certified myself, and I made cacao part of my spiritual practice. I'll go deeper into how you can use it in your spiritual practice if it resonates with you. But first, I want to start talking about what ceremonial grade cacao is. When you have pure cacao versus cocoa, you have not removed anything or added anything to the cacao. It's 100% cacao. Kids cacao is such a product. Cocoa, spelled COCOA, has cacao in it, but then it also has a slew of things. If you grab a Hershey's bar and you read the ingredients, there is a long list. Here, all there is cacao. Also, when they add things, they bring down or they diminish the benefits of the raw or of the pure product. I was going to say raw, but I want to dismantle a myth. There is no such thing as raw cacao, not when we are consuming it, because cacao, by the time we're consuming it, is a fermented food. And fermentation, if I'm not mistaken, let me read my notes. Yes, fermentation brings it over 122 degrees, which by definition makes it not a raw product. However, this one is very, very lightly fermented. It's actually a shorter fermentation. It also is consistent between batches. You see products that, well, sometimes you get a good bar of cacao, sometimes you don't. So anyway, this cacao is consistent among batches. Are there any other cacaos that I recommend? Not that I can recommend. That's not to say that there aren't other good cacaos out there in the world. However, this is what I use, this is what I distribute, and this is the only one that I stand behind. With that said, if you know somebody that grows cacao, if you're in Central America, for example, and you know somebody that grows cacao, I don't know if she's here, but my cousin was going to join. Diane lives in Panama. She has a beautiful farm and she grows cacao. She's starting to grow her own and do her own ceremonies. That is wonderful. If you know some small producer that has cacao and you can get it, by all means, go ahead and do that. If you're going to go with a company that produces it, this is the only one, Keats Cacao, this is the only one that I recommend. Let's see. When you do not remove the cacao butter, which is what they do from chocolate to make it less fat and to make it smoother, when you remove that, you really are removing what helps process the psychoactive compounds because cacao has psychoactive compounds. You don't want that because psychoactive is what helps you connect. That's why we use it for spiritual practice. So, chocolate, no, chocolate is not helping you connect. Chocolate has a lot of sugar, it has dairy, and it has a lot of things that you really don't want to consume. Obviously, there's degrees of cacao in chocolate. It is delicious. I'm not saying it is not, but that's not what we are after. So, keeping the cacao butter in here is what makes this the best cacao to help you connect. If you look at a bar of Keats cacao close, it looks like it went bad. It did not go bad. This is called bloom. And bloom is fabulous because that is the separation that occurs when the cacao butter is present. So if a bar of cacao looks all dark, I will tell you, you are not buying 100% cacao, just so that you know. It has to have bloom. I actually remember Garrett Petrov was hilarious. He got the cacao and he said, did my cacao go bad? So it was the bloom. So don't worry, it is not bad. Another thing that makes the bloom so is that there is no ongoing tempering that Keats cacao does. What is tempering? It's the heating and cooling, reheating and cooling, and reheating and cooling of cacao, again, to make it more homogeneous. If you're doing that, you are killing the amazingness that these cacao products can help with. So you don't want that. This cacao is one of several kinds. This one is called criollo. Criollo is more of a Mesoamerica product, Central and South America. And Criollo is known for its purity, its flavor, and its aroma. Again, there's other types of cacao around the world. I'm not going to go into it. This is Criollo. Another benefit of Keats cacao is that it is direct trade, which is even better than fair trade. Keith unfortunately passed away last January, a year ago, uh, and he was the one that started the work with the Guatemalan families. But the company, his wife is still alive and very much involved. The company works directly with the families, so there is no middleman. And although it is not certified organic, it is definitely better than organic because it's grown in the jungles in Guatemala. Let's go into the benefits, but before I go into the benefits, does anybody have any questions? And I will ask you not to write them on the chat because I can't see very well from here. So if you guys want to raise your hand or type it in the Q&A, that would be very helpful. Just making sure nobody has any questions up until this point. Beautiful. We will continue then. What are some of the benefits? And I'm just going to cover the biggest benefits of cacao because we could go on for a very long time here and we have a lot to cover. Cacao promotes good health, definitely promotes good health. It elevates mood. So if you're feeling a little down, rather than reaching out for any other medication, go ahead and have a cup of cacao. It heightens focus. And for somebody as I am, it has been a true blessing. So I use it when I'm going to write or when I'm going to do something that requires focus. I have my cup. You see me when I go on my live streams, I have my cup. It really helps focus and it also enhances creativity, which is amazing when you're writing or when you're engaging in a creative endeavor. It supports performance. So if you're an athlete, definitely helps you. If you want to use it for your spiritual practice, it deepens your practice because of the psychoactive ingredients. one of them being theobroma, and I'm going to go into theobroma in a little bit. It also helps you reconnect body, mind, and soul. As you know, we are a complex, body, mind, spirit complex, as Zena says. And when you set the intention, because remember that intention is what tells energy what to do, you bring yourself back together. So, in essence, it is helping you bring together the split mind. Remember, intention tells energy what to do. And there are also many new studies that show that cacao helps regenerate or grow stem cells. So if you know about stem cells, those are the chameleons of the cells. They are very, very helpful, especially in treatment of cancers and in many other diseases. So stem cells are necessary, and a lot of new studies have shown that cacao helps grow new stem cells. So if these benefits aren't enough, I don't know what would be. It gives you an energy boost, and that's my favorite one. There are people that like cacao in the morning. I don't do well with cacao first thing in the morning. I know my friend Janet, she quit coffee with cacao. That's another benefit. I'll talk about the very low caffeine content in this cacao in particular. She drinks it right away in the morning. I can't do that. It upsets my stomach. So for me, it has to be after breakfast. Anytime during the day, I don't have a problem with it. I like it early afternoon because it gives me that sustained energy boost. Because theobromine is a cardiovascular stimulant instead of a nervous system stimulant, it opens up your cardiovascular system and everything travels at a smooth rate. You increase your energy and then slowly it comes back down rather than that spike that caffeine or sugar give you and then boom, the crash. So that is why I love it so much in the afternoon. I used to be a Coca-Cola drinker, loved my regular Coke, quit about 2 years ago, and that's how I defeated the whole caffeine low with this sustained way of giving you energy. Now, I'm going to go into this whole theobroma. Theobroma is one of the chemicals, if you will, in cacao. Theo means God and broma means food. So literally, it means food for the gods. How amazing is that? In cacao, as I said, depending on how it's processed, it's going to have more or less of something. This one is consistently at the ratio of 42:1. What does that mean? That it contains 4.67% theobroma, which is very high in the industry, which is what you want. You want the theobroma. And as far as caffeine is concerned, it contains less than or similar to decaf coffee. This one in particular has 0.0012% caffeine, which is again equal to or less than decaf coffee. Because it gives you energy, I don't like to do it at night. A lot of people have the opposite effect that it has on me, and it calms them down for the night. When I have cacao at night, I get, well, it's psychoactive, so it connects me to spirit. I'm already quite connected, so it's a bit too much for me. So my personal favorite, you find yours, is middle of the day, early afternoon. Okay, what else can I share? Bioactive compounds in cacao. These are chemical components that influence physiological or cellular activities. How amazing is that? And they are distinct from nutrients. The bioactive compounds, in addition to theobroma, which is one of them, is caffeine. But again, we've talked about the difficulty with caffeine, how it spikes you and how it puts you in the reptilian brain, which is spiking that cortisol and that fight or flight response. It also has flavonoids or flavonoids, I don't know how to pronounce that word, and polyphenols. I will create a class for those that want to go deeper into the science of cacao. I will create a class with slides and everything, but those are the most important ones, and I really wanted to show you today how to make it. As far as the history, real briefly, is concerned, cacao was first discovered in the Ecuadorian Amazon in 3200 BC. It has been around a long time. It started moving up. The Toltecs used it, the Olmecs used it, and then the Aztecs used it, as did the Mayans. However, it is a myth that there is such a thing as a cacao ceremony that these cultures used to have. They actually used it for their ceremonies, but there wasn't a cacao ceremony per se. In fact, the Mayans used it in their sacrifice ceremonies, not exactly the nicest, but they also used it for connection and healing. And Montezuma actually used it as an aphrodisiac. There is a component called anandamide that is the bliss chemical, really. Every cell in your brain lights up to the deliciousness of it. That is what is the aphrodisiac part of cacao. So just so you guys know. And and then it didn't turn into cacao, I'm sorry, chocolate, until 16th century France. Chocolate became in France the drug of choice of the royalty class. How amazing, huh? The last nutrient that I want to talk about before we make our cacao is magnesium. As you all know, at least in the United States, most of us are deficient in magnesium. We should be having around 100 milligrams of magnesium a day. Cacao is rich in this. It helps you with bone health. It helps you process carbs and glucose. How amazing is that? So if you're insulin resistant, cacao will help. It is good for muscle health, I'm sorry, and believe it or not, it is good for constipation, for PMS symptoms, and for anxiety. So all of this is present in magnesium, which is highly present in cacao. Very last item that I want to address, because I do get this question from purists. They ask me if this cacao has heavy metals. All cacao is going to have heavy metals, including chocolate. Why? Because it includes cadmium. Cadmium is the number 43 element in the periodic table. This means that it is present here. However, it is very, very, very low. In this cacao, which is a very high quality, there is 0.12 parts per million. In the European Union's maximum is 0.8. So this is well below. So I wouldn't worry about this. Chemtrails I would worry about. This I wouldn't worry about. I have to say it. Okay, loves, before I start making cacao, does anybody have any questions on what I have shared? Yeah, yeah. All right, it seems like you guys are good. So let's start making our cacao, shall we? First, I'm going to get the water to hot. I want to show you quickly how I process it. When you open the bar, some tricks. I learned very quickly that the best way to not waste this food of God's is to use wax paper. So I use wax paper over my board. That way I don't miss any cacao. I cover my board. You want a good knife with really good and sharp edge. So what I do is I just start shaving it. And as you can see, it basically falls apart. Some of it falls apart easier, some of it not as easy. So when you have enough cacao, what I actually do is I do a whole bar at a time. A block is a pound, it's 16 ounces. You want 1 ounce per serving for maintenance dosage, and you want 1.5 ounces if you are doing this every day. And you may want to do the conversion in Europe. I want to say 1 ounce is 23 grams, but please check. What I do is I do the whole bar and then I put it in a mason jar once I have processed it. Now, here's where I may differ from the purists. Purists don't like to blend the cacao. I like to blend it when I have shaved it, because if I don't, then you have to work it a lot with the hot water for it to not be crumbly at the bottom. I have decided that I don't like the crumbly. Some people don't mind it. I don't like the crumbly, so I figure it defeats the purpose of everything. Purists don't like to blend it because they claim that it introduces agitated energy. My intention is to connect, and I don't feel that that is the case, so I personally blend it. So what I do is I grab my wax paper, I put it in the blender. Again, this is a step that is optional. You can do it or not do it. And then I process it. I just do just a little bit. It's like, seriously, like 10 seconds. And then it looks like a fine powder. I want to show you. I'm going to get closer so you can see the powder. I was going to blend it, but you guys know what a blender looks like, so I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to get closer. So here is the powder. So it still has some grain to it. It's not complete powder, but yes, it is powder. So that's what I do. I go ahead and I blend it. And after I have blended it, I put it in a mason jar because I use a frother. If you use a frother in a mug, you're going to be full of cacao, and so be your walls. So will be your walls. I've done it. That's why I know. So for ceremony, because today we're having a ceremony, you want 1.5 ounces. So these little shot glasses are 1 ounce, so it's 1.5 shots. That's super easy. Then I add cinnamon. I use Simply Organic. No, I am not affiliated to them, but they have great organic products. So how much cinnamon you use is entirely up to you. Then I use cayenne. Cayenne pepper is an activator. This is also from Simply Organic. And when I'm doing ceremony, I like to go a little bit gung-ho on my cayenne to send me to next week. Then I use lion's mane. This is completely optional. This is my recipe. You guys can decide if you want to use it or not. I'll get closer, and I use two kinds. Again, I'm not affiliated with these guys, but they're amazing. This one is from Anima Mundi, and I will be happy to share their link. This one is from a lady that is actually Costa Rican. She lives in New York, and it's great for cognitive support. God knows I need that. When I don't have this one, I also use Four Pillars, and Four Pillars is made by Sage and Cedar here in Spearfish. Again, I'm happy to share the links with you guys so that you guys don't have to worry about it. The only company I have an affiliation with here is Keats Cacao. So then I use Laird Superfood Creamer with functional mushrooms. It has adaptogens. So as you can imagine, this is just a health shot. It's perfection. So this is very much up to you and it's optional. This is the Laird's. I like to put 2 teaspoons of Laird's in my cacao. If I am making a big batch for ceremony, I don't add it, but for myself, I do. Then I use a teaspoon of vanilla, and this is from Simply Organic. It's a concoction, and you want to go through this process present and adding love. Remember, everything you put in is what you're going to get out. So we want a whole lot of love coming to us. And then last but not least, I use maple syrup. You can use stevia if you want, or honey. I wouldn't recommend anything else. I prefer maple syrup. I do 2 teaspoons, but you can either skip it or not do it at all. I'm sorry, or do less. Skip it and not do it at all. Carol is the same. All right, so once I've done this, I'm going to bring the hot water on. This water, you don't want it to be boiling, because if it is boiling, then you're going to kill the benefits. This is my favorite cacao mug. This is about 4 to 6 ounces of water. You decide how you like it. And after I've done this, I go ahead and I froth it. And the smell, you guys, the smell. I absolutely love it. There are some people that don't like frothers for the same reason that they don't like the blender, but for me, it just makes it delicious. And so you just froth it for as long as you want. It's entirely up to you. Always loving, always present. And then your cacao is ready. There are a couple of things that I want to share with you. When I make a big batch for ceremony, you guys always ask me, but it's so much thicker. What am I doing wrong? When I do a big batch for ceremony, I'm making it in the stove. When you simmer it, it gets thicker. So if you prefer thicker cacao, then you can return this to the stove and simmer it. Never let it boil. But if you are just doing this for daily cacao, this is perfect. You don't want to add dairy to it, right? You just want to leave it a plant-based medicine. This is plant medicine. Again, not psychedelic, but it is psychoactive. And that, dear friends, is how I make my cacao. Does anybody have any questions about the process? I see questions. Okay, let's see if I can read. Can you? No, I can't read. That's hilarious. Let's see. Marianne message, can you certify others? Well, that is a great question, Marianne. I am going to, at some point, do this work for Kids Cacao. I can go through the certification to certify. I haven't done it yet, but since I'm going to be traveling less this year, I believe that I'm going to be doing that work. If you want to go through Kids Cacao directly, I recommend it because they are great. That's how I did it. I learned a lot there, and I would be walking people through what I learned in Kids Cacao. So yes, kidscacao.com, and it's called practitioner certification, if I'm not mistaken. Well, this is not going to work well. I'm going to have to come and go. You know what, you guys? How about this? Um, yeah, this is too far away. Here, you'll just see a lot of me, that's all, coming and going. Okay, substitute for lion's mane. Any mushroom, any adaptogen mushroom, Pascal, or no mushrooms at all. It is not a requirement at all. Let's see what other questions we have. Sorry that you can't see me. It would be great if I could see. Let's see. In the chat, someone asked if it was okay to have more than 1 cup a day. Thank you for asking. Not advisable. Not advisable. And now that you guys asked that question, I'm going to go into why. Well, first, it will get you jittery. And I have been in the jittery stage because I had too much cacao. And then Zena comes in and blows the roof off of the house. It's too much. So I recommend 1 cup a day. So does Kids Cacao. If you want to try more, you can, but it's not recommended. An ounce a day is the recommendation, an ounce and a half if you're going to have a ceremony. Now, and it can be your own ceremony. Now, there are some contraindications to cacao, and I'm glad this question was asked. If you're going to be doing it a lot, I mean, a cup of cacao one day isn't a huge deal. But if you are on antidepressants or antidepressants or anti-anxiety medication, there are some, I think they're called MOIB inhibitors. And you don't want to drink cacao because it's going to counter those inhibitors that are the ones that are helping you stay level. So cacao for here and there, if you are on antidepressants or anti-anxiety medication, that's okay. For every day, not advisable. Also, because it is, let me find the actual word so that you have the term. It is a, anyway, I can't find it, but because it opens up your blood vessels, it lowers your blood pressure. So if you are already on it, but it again, it's not like it boom, but it does have that effect. So if you're on blood pressure medications, what we suggest is that you take it easy at first and see how you do. Again, 1 cup isn't going to do a big deal, but if you're going to be on maintenance cacao, then you want to know. So thank you so much for asking that question. Also, I wanted to say for my spiritual practice, I make it like I made it today, but I'm very present and I infuse it with love. Anything that you do with love is going to come back to you. Well, everything comes back to you. What is the energy that you want returning to you? So be very present. I can taste my cacao, and I promise you it is true. When I have not been present, when I just make it because I gotta get going, I feel it. I sit down, I bring it in, I bring it into my heart, I thank the spirit of cacao, and I set my intention. So I hope that helps you when you're making yours. All right, let's see. We have, I put it in the food processor. Is this not good? I say it's okay. Like I said, if you like how the grain is when you process it like that, please keep doing it. You want to have a cup of cacao that you enjoy. If you ask the purists at Kids Cacao, they don't like the blender, but I say we're free will beings and our intention is what matters the most. I hope that helps. Marianne message and a silly question. What is that white thing next to the blender? Oh my gosh, this thing is the actual blender. This whole thing is my blender. It's a Thermomix. So I didn't want to start, it's very loud. But anyway, that's my blend. It's more than a blender. It cooks and it does everything. It's pretty amazing. It was a gift from my sister. Yeah, it's called the Thermomix. Is it possible to get the recipe? Yes, Roland, when you The answer is yes. When you registered, the recipe was there. It is right here, but I will make sure in the thank you email that I'll send, I will make sure that my recipe is included. Thank you for asking. Great question. Charlene, I may be asking something sacrilegious, but can you add milk or warm up your milk and water in the microwave? Okay, you seriously don't want to microwave anything that goes in here because you're going to kill the good stuff. So I say, whatever you do, try to keep it away from the microwave. That is definitely going to wreck the amazingness. In fact, I even use structured water. I don't know if you guys know what structured water is, but I have a water structure thingy here, and I use structured water because I want to have the best ingredients in it. Milk. They say don't add milk because milk is, well, it's sugar. Let's start right there, lactose, and it is inflammatory. So you really are countering the goodness that you are doing, opening your veins, your vessels, your heart, and then you're adding an inflammatory ingredient. So again, up to you. We're free will beings, but I wouldn't do it. So that would be my answer. Then Rose says, oh, it might be Manjit. Did you use hot water or boiling water? Is oat milk no good? Yes, you can definitely use any plant-based milk. Totally go for it. But you first want to use hot water because that's what's going to help you melt the cacao. No, you don't want it boiling. I boiled it, but then I let it go down. Or you catch it before it boils. So that's basically it. It's just so that it's not so hot that you kill all the goodness magic. Manette, how does the cayenne pepper work? You know, I don't know a lot about it, but I do remember Manette reading about it. And when I go further into the science, I'll make sure that I add more information that goes deeper into that kind of stuff. But I know that cayenne is an activator. I know it is. So that's what I know about it. If you want to skip it, you can, but whoa, I love it. It's amazing. And of course, you can put as much or as little of it as possible. My vanilla extract is this one, Simply Organic. It's my favorite one. They have amazing products. Oops, sorry guys, I almost kicked you out of the way. Daily use of cacao, I do an ounce for daily use and 1.5 ounces for maintenance. So that's what you want to do. Have you addressed the ceremony part of the process? Oh, we are going to have a little ceremony. So yes, definitely. As far as yes, when you're making it, yes, I did address that. You stay present, you add your love. Your ceremony is personal to you. You can do whatever you want. I read my daily lesson with it. If I do it early enough in the morning, if I do it in the afternoon, I just sit in presence and in meditation. And guess what? I love using it with breath work. It really enhances breath. So I hope that helps, Karen. Yeah, soy milk. Well, I am not the biggest fan of soy for many reasons. In nutrition school, I learned that soy can be a tricky one. Soy really, we shouldn't be eating soy unless it was fermented. But Ruthie, if you love your soy milk, yes, you can go ahead and use soy. How long is the shelf life of the block of cacao? It is quite a bit. Um, You can also refrigerate it, but here, this one goes to October of 2027. So it is pretty long shelf life. And they now changed the label. It's not as cute as it used to be, but anyway, this is vintage. I make my own nut milk. Can you add that instead of milk? Yes, yes, absolutely. Use your own nut milk. That is perfection. Damaris uses coconut milk and it's so good. Oh my goodness, yes. The reason why I don't add coconut milk is because this Laird's thing is with coconut. So yes, absolutely. Coconut is fabulous. And then it adds the MCTs, the medium chain triglycerides that are so, so good for you. Okay, loves. Oh, is there another question? What is the purpose of Laird? For me, I use it to as a creamer to make it creamier. And because this one has functional mushrooms, well, those adaptogens are just the bomb, those mushrooms. So it is to make it even healthier, to make it a delicious and very healthy drink. That's what I use it for. Okay, guys, I think I got all your questions. So let's take a 5-minute break or so. If you want to center yourselves, we're going to have a mini cacao ceremony. So yes, actually, let's make it more like 7 minutes. That puts us at 11:50 Mountain. I will see you at 11:50. I'm going to switch to my studio PC for the cacao ceremony. See you guys there. All right, peeps. Can you hear me well? If you can please type yes, that would be fantastic. Awesome. Thanks, Marianne. This is where I should have come down to answer the questions because here I can actually read them. So I saw one more question again about the dosage, so I will go ahead and I'll answer that. The daily dosage is 1 ounce, and the ceremony dose is 1.5 ounce. My jacket will fly. Okay, so if you don't have cacao, don't worry about it. We're, as in Zena and I here right now, are setting the intention for you to receive the benefits of the energy that we are creating here with the spirit of cacao. Briefly, I'm going to ask Ian to please display the attunement spirit of cacao. This is the one that I have on my shirt right now. Yes, cacao is good for a pregnant and nursing mom. The answer is a resounding yes. Thanks, Tyke, for asking. So here is the spirit of cacao, you guys. Anybody interested in a shirt with the spirit of cacao, you can just send me an email. The store, as you know, is closed. No more shop online. But if you want a t-shirt or a hoodie or a sweatshirt with the spirit of cacao, please go ahead and send me a message and I will be happy to order it for you. This spirit of cacao attunement is very near and dear to my heart. And its message is, it is she who guides you through the jungle of your inner being to emerge victorious on the other side of that which has never been. Oh, so amazing. So take it in, dear loves, as we settle in and get into our ceremony mode. So I'm going to ask you to please close your eyes and settle in wherever you are located. It could be that you are sitting down, it can be that you are laying down. And if you are driving, please don't close your eyes and keep driving. But if you have cacao with you, this is the time to start taking in this beautiful and gentle spirit. Go ahead and sip your cacao and with reverence thank it for this amazing gathering that we have brought together today. So many beautiful beings of love and light, interested in learning, interested in expanding their consciousness and connecting with each other. We start with a blessing for all of you. And we continue with the request for Mama Cacao to guide us today and always, as we, one step in front of the other, get closer to light and love. We continue to slow down our breathing, take in our cacao. You can continue taking it in at whatever rate you feel comfortable. As is the case with cacao, with the bowls, the sound healing, the healing occurs when frequency and intention come together. So my intention for today is peace. It's peace in the world, which begins with me. I breathe this intention in and I exhale any tensions that are counter to that peace that I am trying to create within me, within you. I invite you to continue breathing into this intention, and then I invite you to connect with your own intention for today. And we shall begin. Chante washte hochila, laki estimo,
Hangi peke washte we yo ye chante washte ho chila lagi estimo hangi peke washte we yo ye way oh he way oh he ah he oh he way oh he ah he oh he way oh he way oh he way oh he chante washte ho chila lagi estima hange peke washte way oh he way oh he way oh he I invite you to continue on this space of gratitude for all that has brought us here together. As you exhale, you release any tensions left in your body. And as you inhale peace. You see peace coming in your mind's eye, whatever shape or form peace has for you. You see it coming in brightly and traveling through your entire system. And as it travels, you start seeing your cells changing. They're changing from dull, dim colors to bright white lights. You continue to bring that peace in you and swish it around your entire system. And as you do, all the tensions that you have exhaled have left, and you connect to peace. Inhale love. Exhale tension. Inhale peace. Exhale tension. And little by little, you find yourself relaxing. You feel the muscles of your face relax. You feel the muscles of your arms, your wrists, your fingers, all of it relax. You feel your torso relaxing. You feel your legs relaxing. Your feet, your toes, your whole body relaxed. From this state of relaxation, you feel the peace that you truly are, that is your birthright. You continue to inhale love and peace. And you continue to swirl it around your whole entire body. And it feels right. You feel as if your body is floating, weightless. None of the weight of the world is tethering you at this moment. You float lightly, beautifully, gently, smoothly. This is your gift from you, this space of awareness, of peace, of joy. Enjoy it. Stay present with your sensations in your body. Stay present with any shifts that may be occurring. And enjoy this moment, the present moment. And from this state of peace, you are going to envision that peace emanating from you, coming out of every single cell of your body and permeating the area around you. You first see the light coming out of you in the form of peace and permeating the room you are in or the area you are in, and then outwards, covering your entire community, your entire state or province, your entire country, your continent, your planet, all of it enveloped in peace. Our voices will go quiet for you to enjoy this peace that you are bringing to the world, created from your own heart. And when it is time to return, the chimes will bring you back and our voices will return. Enjoy this state of being. Slowly start becoming aware of the present moment, aware of any shifts that may have occurred and of how your body feels. Make note of these shifts and ask for guidance to remain with you so that it may inform your present moment in each present moment. Slowly start moving your hands, your toes, your fingers. And when you are ready, go ahead, dear loves, and open your eyes. How are you guys feeling? How are you feeling? I didn't have time to drink all my cacao. Oh, I see a heart. Welcome back. Oh, Manjit, I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Beautiful. Well, I hope that today was blissful, as Manjit is saying. That was the idea, bliss. I am going to wait and see if anybody has any other questions because I want to make sure that you guys have everything that you need to start your practice. Again, you don't have to use Kids Cacao if you don't have it, but if you want it, I will include my link. You will get 5% discount with it. But if you want a different cacao or a different experience, anything and everything that resonates with you is what is right for you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity to be of service. I do these bowls in the XA Collective every month, so if you guys are curious about what we do there, please come join us. I want to thank Ian very, very much for the technical support that he's giving us from Bermuda. And I am going to give one more chance for any questions that you may have. Anything, the bowls, the cacao, the ceremony, any questions. This is a good time to ask. Thank you for all those beautiful hearts. That's so awesome. Ah, you're so welcome, Riley. Thank you for being here. I see Riley. I don't know if that's your name or your last name. I don't know, but I hope I am right. Ah, you're so welcome, Patricia. Oh, Riley might be Jenny. That's awesome. Do you use it as a focus for intention? Yes, because what happens is that we are very unconscious in our daily living. This brings you a purpose to settle down and to focus on intention with attention. So, very much so, it's an amazing, amazing, amazing tool. I love to drink coffee in the morning while I read ACIM. That's awesome. If you find something that does it for you, that is fabulous. I went to a place called Leamington and did get cacao. I was in bliss, but don't know if it was the bowls or the cacao or the combination of both. Well, probably a little bit of everything. These bowls are very high frequency. They really help you get into that beautiful space of healing. So, and then we have 30 some people connected at the same time. This is why these things are so powerful when they're live, because everyone is there with the same intention and it just magnifies Manjit. So, yes, I'm glad you enjoyed it. You're very welcome, Glenn. Lovely seeing you. Thank you for being here. Marianne, where did you get your bowls and was there a course you went through for the bowls? Yes, Marianne, these bowls are made in Utah by Crystal Tones. I bought most of them in Sedona, although a couple of them are from California. And yes, I went through a certification program. It was several months. I don't remember exactly. But yes, it's a very deep certification program where you go through music theory and holding space, ceremony, healing with frequency. It's pretty amazing. I absolutely love it. So thank you for asking. Roland, it's okay if you forgot your question. You are more than welcome to ask anytime you want, and I will post the answer in the community. I don't know if you have joined the community, but if you haven't, the community is free. There's a paid one, the XA Collective, but the base community is free. So if you haven't joined, please join. I'll make sure that I will post any answers there to any questions you may have. We are 1 minute past, so I will let you guys go on with your Saturday day, evening, or afternoon. Thank you for being here. I love you. Have a wonderful rest of your day.